are located in New England, up in New Hampshire and Vermont. It is a wonderful, beautiful day outside today, and I cannot wait to go outside on my lunch break and take a walk around. Today, I'll be talking to you a little bit about how to go offline while we're working in a digital space. As you join us today, or if you come back to watch later, please feel free to make a note in the comment section about where you're joining us from, and share any ideas that you might have about how to work offline while we're meeting digitally, because we would love to make this a nice collaborative project and have some great resources here that we can share with each other. So while we're talking today, one of the big things that's been a conversation lately is talking about screen time for kids. Something that we're always concerned about on a regular basis, but right now where their school is online and their Girl Scouts is online and all their extracurriculars are online, it can be a lot of time for them to be attached to that screen. So we wanted to take some time to do a little bit of brainstorming about some ways we can get away from the screen for a little bit, but still do some nice Girl Scout activities. So again, as you join us, feel free to say hello in the comment section over there. Let us know where you're joining us from. So part of the trick to taking your meetings offline, but still being online, is getting those girls active. And it's finding really creative ways to work on the pieces of your meeting. Doing that is going to require a little bit of coordination and cooperation. So those are kind of the two C's that I want you to think about when you're thinking about working offline, online. So with your younger girls, like your daisies and your brownies, maybe some of your juniors, depending on what you're working on, you're going to want to think about parent and guardian cooperation. That's going to look like how you would usually coordinate with your co-leader to plan for a meeting. You want to also coordinate with those parents and guardians and get them involved in the planning process, because you're going to need them to help you out when you're taking the meeting offline. For your older girls, you're going to look for that coordination piece. So those are the older juniors, the cadet seniors, ambassadors that have been doing Girl Scouts for a while or a little bit older, and they're more comfortable taking your instructions and running with them as long as they're in a safe space to do so. With those girls, what you can do is send those instructions either over to the parent or guardian or right to the girl, depending on how you communicate, and that way they can work on those when you're taking your meeting offline. So just kind of an idea of how to get that started. You're going to get together digitally for your meeting opening, do your promise in law, do your pledge of allegiance, do your opening business, and then say, okay, it's time to take this meeting offline. You have your work that you're going to either do with your parent for the younger girl, or your guardian for the younger girl, or for the older girls, you're going to give them their time frame. Or if they are going to go do something outside that might need some eyes-on supervision, make sure they know to go check in with their parent or guardian at that point. So you're going to give them their instructions, make sure they have everything that they need, and then you're going to end the meeting letting them know that you'll come back in 15 minutes, half an hour, 45 minutes, whatever it is that you agree on, so that you can reconnect and see what they worked on while they were working offline. You might want to make some plans with those girls, especially the older girls, maybe even some brownies, depending on what their ability level is, what their technology they have available, for them to even kind of like buddy up, even if that's just to kind of have an open phone call going where the parent's out there with the phone call so they can call out ideas to their fellow brownie junior, senior, while they're out working on their offline badge component, to kind of keep that connection going. You can also let them know that if they have any questions at any point, they can check back in with you. If you know for sure they're going to have some questions, you might even think about leaving that Zoom meeting or Facebook meeting open so someone can dart back in and ask you a question if something pops up. So this is where you're going to get creative. So I went through and thought to myself, well, what are some of our outdoor badges that could work really well right now? And kind of came up with a quick list of things that might work. After I read these out loud at the end of the session, after I'm finished talking, I'll go through and type them in the comment section so you can access those later. So I thought Eco Camper for Daisies is something that you could work on some things from home. The Bugs Badge for Brownies. Gardener for Juniors. Trees for Cadets. Sky for seniors, and Water for ambassadors. All of those have some step in there somewhere that they could easily translate and complete at home. Either that's in their house or something they could do on their property or in their neighborhood. Just to kind of get them moving, get them outside, especially now here in New England where we're kind of easing off mud season a little bit. We're getting some nice weather out there. Those girls are going to be itching to get themselves outside and try some exciting things out there. Another thing to keep in mind if you're not ready to start a new badge is to plug the badges that you are working on into the volunteer toolkit. If you haven't used the volunteer toolkit or the VTK yet, you can find that on our website, which is girlscoutsgwm.org. And then over in the My GS tab, if you click into there and then click into volunteer toolkit, this is the digital assistant for you that will help you plan out all of your troop meetings. And in there, next to some of the badge requirements that they'll give you, you'll find some of them have a little tree next to them. And if you click the tree and make it green, it's going to give you an option for how to do that activity outdoors. So whether it be like an art activity or a snack activity or knot tying or something, it's going to show you how you can do that and bring the girls outside and give them some time to be out in the beautiful sunshine right now, because I'm sure we're all feeling that need to get out there and feel some sun. You could also consider doing something like a Girl Scout challenge. You could, excuse me, have the girls clean up around their neighborhood with some parent or guardian supervision. And you could kind of tie that back in to the Girl Scout law by saying, when you're doing this, you're helping to make the world a better place. Or they could like create an exercise game. If you have sidewalk chalk, they could make an obstacle course. And all the girls could then make their own obstacle course, take some pictures, compare notes, and then they could work on recreating each other's obstacle courses in their own driveways to kind of rebuild that connection. And have those pictures taken, those videos taken of what it looks like while they're out there having fun, so they still feel connected to each other and like they're working on something together. So the trick here is really just to think outside that box. You're going to want to look at what your plans are, look at what you've been working on, look especially at what the girls are interested in, and see what you can do to kind of start that meeting together, give them the opportunity to try some independence and step back and try it offline, work outdoors, work in their living rooms, work with some different materials to kind of get them up and moving and excited and active. If you have any ideas, either if you're watching this now or if you watch later, no time is too late. I would love to see some ideas in the comment section of things that you've tried or things you're interested in trying to get your girls outside or get them working offline while you're doing Girl Scout stuff together. I've seen a couple of troops talk about doing that Girl Scout challenge where the girls have something to complete each week or each day to kind of meet that challenge, which I think could be a really fun way to work on something. I've also seen some great bingo boards different troops have been doing for different ways the girls can, fill a thing across while doing some different kind of Girl Scout activities. So if you have any questions, feel free to pop those over in the comment section. And again, would love to hear questions, hear any ideas that you might have. We have some more great online offerings coming up soon. At 4 o'clock today, we are going to be working on the Troop Performer Badge. We'll have one activity from that for you. That's at 4, so check right back into our Facebook page. We have more story times coming up, more campfire singing, more outdoor explanation, lots of great fun stuff going on. So check back into our Facebook often and see what we have going on. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate your time. And once again, pop in with those questions and ideas that you have because I'd love to do some brainstorming. Thank you so much for joining us and for all that you do for our girls and for the communities. We really appreciate it. Thank you, and I hope you have a great day.